what is the real issue with you in marriage? So then now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this.
Instead, you take this amazing beat, and just have to defend yourself on it. You let him kind of corner you into that move.
I think that people have been making fun of him for such a long time that he has really internalized all that. And that dictates the way he probably moves behind the scenes. I'm your girl, and your girl, and your girl, because you treated me like this. You think I wasn't cool enough.
Drake has been a living meme for years, and it's really taken a toll on him. It's changed how he acts when no one's looking. He feels like he's always in the shadows, never the cool one. This has made him keep his true feelings under wraps. The music industry is full of people who aren't open about their feelings, and Drake fits right in. When he introduces you to his friends, he's overly friendly, swapping numbers with a big grin. It's not just with rappers. It's athletes, actors, golfers, tech moguls, you name it. But this wasn't the worst part. Drake's had a rough time with relationships. His dad left when he was just 5, so he never got walked to the bus stop. These early disappointments left a lasting mark. Since he started his career, his interactions with women have been a major theme in his music. His songs cover everything from breakups to showing his sensitive side. Initially, Drake was seen as someone who respected women, but over time, his image shifted dramatically. He turned into the so-called certified lover boy, moving from sharing his loneliness in songs like Marvin's Room to facing criticism for misogyny in collaborations like Her Loss with 21 Savage. Even though he says the only woman he truly loves is his mom in God's plan, this was a big change from his earlier days when he seemed more interested in genuine connections. But this wasn't the worst part either. Drake's shift from a nice guy to someone seen as not respecting women, only valuing them for sex or as trophies, marked a big change. There's a common belief that Drake might be battling a serious addiction to sex, which complicates his life a lot. He tries to come off as a smart, composed businessman, but behind the scenes, he's involved with his friends' girlfriends, not just for physical reasons, but as a way to hold something over them. But this wasn't the worst part either. This behavior might sound wild, but it's become his reality. Operating in a way that sidesteps the wholesome image he once had, Drake has openly admitted he's not a one-woman man and doesn't see himself changing. This attitude is not unusual among celebrities, but for Drake, it's mixed with spite and self-sabotage, which has threatened to derail his career multiple times. So, we need to dive deep into the roots of this behavior, which has been evident for quite a while but often overlooked. Known for his charm and influence, Drake has often found himself in situations that pushed the boundaries of celebrity behavior. This desire to always be in the limelight, however, started to take a toll on his personal and professional life. His addiction to social media began subtly. Drake would spend hours scrolling through feeds, obsessing over how he was perceived by fans and critics alike. It wasn't just about staying relevant, it was about controlling the narrative at all costs. But this wasn't the worst part. The real trouble began when this need spilled over into his real-life interactions.
It's been speculated that Drake unfollowed you afterwards. Do you want to tell us some tea on that?
He did. I don't know why, though.
Shame on you, Drake. Shame on you. You shouldn't have done that.
It's okay, though.
She's out here.
It's all love.
For example, the incident with the up-and-coming artist Ice Spice highlighted how Drake's need for control could lead to impulsive decisions. After inviting Ice Spice to his Ooh Fest, he abruptly cut ties with her, a move that many speculated was because he didn't get what he wanted from the interaction. This behavior not only affected his relationships, but also painted a picture of a man who could not handle rejection or loss of control. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, it did. Drake's approach to relationships, especially with female artists, began to seriously impact his reputation. He prided himself on being a bachelor, and his actions started to reflect a pattern of using his status to influence and, at times, manipulate others. This pattern became even more evident with Naomi Sharon's story, where Drake's advances led to significant personal fallout for her. As Drake's addiction to controlling his image grew, so did the consequences. His relationships with other artists, friends, and potential romantic partners suffered. People began to see a side of Drake that was not just about music or creativity, but about a desperate need to be seen and heard at all costs. This addiction has had lasting effects on Drake's career. Once celebrated for his music and personality, he now faces criticism for his behavior off stage. His need for constant attention and validation has not only damaged personal relationships, but has also made fans and collaborators question his integrity and intentions. As he continues to navigate this challenging phase, it remains to be seen how Drake will balance his public persona with his personal struggles. But one thing is clear, the path to recovery and redemption is still a long one ahead. Jamie Sons' life took a sudden turn when a global music icon offered his fiancée a record deal. They were flown out to sign the contract, and in that instant, the trust Jamie had built over 8 years shattered. He found himself betrayed, both emotionally and professionally, by someone he had never expected to turn against him, his own fiancée, alongside the pressures and manipulations of the music industry. Jamie thought he had a future with someone he deeply loved, only to find out he was wrong. This incident is not isolated in the music industry. Drake, who was directly involved, showed no hesitation in disrupting Jamie's life to achieve his goals. Despite minor damage to his own reputation, it became evident that Drake's earlier promise to French Montana, never to meddle with another's partner, was merely lip service. Drake's interactions with women often play a significant role in his conflicts with other artists. This pattern has been noted even by his staunchest supporters, revealing a disregard for the boundaries typically respected by others in the industry. The rivalry between Drake and other artists often intensifies over personal relationships. For instance, his long-standing feud with Chris Brown began dramatically in a club scene where Drake sent a bottle to Brown with a provocative message, sparking a confrontation. Such actions show a blatant disregard for the repercussions on personal relationships and professional networks. Drake's controversial involvement with women reached a peak when he allegedly became involved with the girlfriend of his mentor, Lil Wayne, while Wayne was incarcerated. This betrayal was so personal that even though Wayne tried to dismiss it publicly, he admitted in his autobiography the deep emotional impact it had on him. This incident, like many others, illustrates Drake's willingness to cross lines for personal gain, affecting not just his relationships, but also those around him, leaving a trail of strained relations and damaged trust. Drake's troubles run deep, touching on struggles with addiction that many think started in his early years. Some believe he uses substances to cope with his rough past or to prove people wrong. Those who doubted a suburban Jewish kid from Toronto could make it big in hip-hop. On the Joe Budden podcast, they talked about how people's views of Drake might have shaped his behavior, especially his tendency to pursue women who are seen as off-limits. But this isn't just a personal issue for Drake. It's also a statement. Many people see his actions as a way to show he's important in the industry. Some think he's trying to get the attention he missed out on growing up by using his wealth now. This lack of respect was clear when Joe Budden pointed out that people in the industry don't trust Drake around their partners, even if they act friendly. This distrust extends beyond rappers to athletes, actors, and tech moguls. Ebro and Nadeska from Hot 97 believe Drake's problems go beyond music, showing how society treats him. He's often the butt of memes and jokes, and he uses his interactions with women to prove himself. This need to show his worth has affected his personal relationships and public image, leading to many conflicts. But this wasn't the worst part. His actions towards women and friends suggest deeper issues with respect and loyalty. Critics say his behavior reflects a bad attitude that could hurt him in the long run. This was evident in his feuds with other artists like Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar, where he faced significant losses when he targeted their partners. These problems trace back to his childhood, where he lacked a strong male role model and had a father who set poor examples of how to treat women. This upbringing seems to have given Drake a disregard for the importance of relationships, leading him to act without thinking about the impact on others. Drake's situation is serious. If he doesn't change his ways, he risks losing not only his career and reputation, but also his well-being. His ongoing struggles are a wake-up call that he needs to address his deeper issues before it's too late. So, do you think Drake can turn his life around, or is he too far gone? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.